There was a creature so ancient that even Lucifer himself trembled before it, a being so powerful that God had to destroy it before heaven was born, before sin, before light, before the angels even had wings. This story has never been told because it was erased from existence, written only in fragments of forbidden scrolls that whisper of Abyrion, the first flame. In the beginning, when God said, "Let there be light," that voice did not just create, it awakened something, a consciousness born from divine fire itself, older than Mikel, older than Gabriel, older even than time. But when creation took form, Abyrion desired to shape it, and in that desire was pride, the same pride that would later take root in Lucifer. Stay with me till the end, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see creation forever. And before we begin, subscribe so you never miss the truths heaven tried to hide. Before the angels sang, before stars were formed, there was only divine silence and the voice that broke it. When God spoke light into being, his word became creation. But from that same word, something else emerged. Not light, not darkness, but living flame. That flame took shape, pulsing with consciousness, its radiance too bright for even the heavens to contain. God called it Abyrion. Abyrion was not an angel nor a beast. It was the raw force of divine energy, the first element of will. While the angels obeyed the word, Abyrion understood it. It could feel the pulse of creation moving through its core. The heavens watched as God gave it a task, to carry his light across the emptiness, to ignite the stars, to awaken the first dawn. And so Abyrion burned through the void, blazing brighter than any angelic host could endure. But from that brilliance, something darker began to stir, a sense of purpose beyond its command. It wanted to create, not just to carry light, and that thought was the beginning of its fall. Abyrion began to shape the air, to weave colors that had no name, forming illusions of worlds that were never meant to exist. The angels watched in awe, unsure whether to sing or to fear. Mikel saw beauty, Lucifer saw power. God's voice spoke once more, calm but absolute. The light serves the word, not its own will. But Abyrion did not bow. Instead, it whispered across the heavens, "If the light was born from your word, then is it not also divine?" That question sent a tremor through creation. The angels fell silent. Even the Seraphim dared not answer, for in that moment, a being had spoken not as a servant, but as something that saw itself equal to the Creator. Lucifer listened, and though he said nothing, a spark entered his heart, the same spark that would one day consume him. Heaven was shaken. The first rebellion was not of swords or shadows, it was of thought. God commanded Abyrion to return to the flame from which it came, to rest within the core of divine fire. But Abyrion refused, spreading its light through the heavens like wildfire. Lucifer approached Abyrion in secret. He asked, "What do you see when you burn?" And Abyrion answered, "I see beyond his light, a power greater than obedience." Those words would echo in Lucifer's mind for eternity. Soon, Abyrion's flame began to distort the heavens. The stars it lit grew unstable, and the music of creation turned discordant. The angels could no longer sing. They could only watch as their own light flickered. And then, the voice spoke once more, but this time it carried sorrow. When God is silent, even eternity trembles. That silence fell over heaven, and for the first time, every angel felt fear. They knew that when the Creator does not speak, judgment is near. The light of Abyrion dimmed, twisting upon itself, feeding on its own flame. It screamed without sound, a roar that shook all of creation. Lucifer fell to his knees as the sky split. Mikel drew his sword, but even he hesitated, unsure if such a being could be struck down. Then the silence broke. The light that forgets its source will consume itself. And as those words echoed, the flame of Abyrion began to fold into nothingness, its brilliance imploding into darkness. It was not destroyed by force, but by truth. The heavens wept, for the first flame had perished, and with it, a warning was written into creation itself. Abyrion was gone, but not forgotten. The place where it burned was sealed, a void deeper than any abyss. Even Lucifer feared to look upon it, but in that emptiness, a whisper remained, a fragment of its will. Some say that whisper entered the hearts of those who question, those who create beyond the word. Others believe it became the spark that gives every being free will, the same spark that makes humans dream. Lucifer stood before the void and swore, "I will not forget." And God said, "Then you shall carry the memory, and it shall be your burden." That was the moment the seed of rebellion was planted. For in Lucifer's heart lived the memory of Abyrion, a reminder that even divine light can fall when it forgets its source. After Abyrion's fall, heaven glowed dimmer. The angels returned to their hymns, but something had changed. Lucifer no longer sang as he once did. His melodies carried sorrow, and beneath that sorrow, questions. He often wandered to the edge of heaven where the void of Abyrion still pulsed faintly, like a wound that refused to heal. Mikel warned him, "The past is sealed. Do not seek what God has erased," but Lucifer's gaze never turned away. He whispered, "If even his light can perish, then perfection is not eternal." In that moment, a shiver passed through the heavens. The first thought of defiance, quiet, fragile, yet powerful, was born again. Abyrion was gone, but its voice lived in Lucifer's mind, shaping his destiny. What began as curiosity would soon become rebellion. Lucifer's beauty was unmatched. He was radiant, crowned with melodies and wisdom. But beauty without humility becomes a mirror, and mirrors can deceive. Each time he gazed into his own light, he saw the reflection of Abyrion, the being who had dared to question God's order. Lucifer began to see himself as the next light, the continuation of creation's flame. He thought, "If Abyrion was destroyed for seeking truth, then I shall find it and survive." The angels saw his brilliance grow brighter, but they did not see the shadow within it. Lucifer began to believe that perhaps even God's silence had limits, that perfection could be improved. He never knew that the same silence which ended Abyrion was now watching him. One day, as Lucifer sang before the throne, a strange stillness filled heaven. He paused. The music of eternity had changed key. From the void he heard it, not a sound but a memory, Abyrion's whisper. Creation cannot be ruled by obedience alone. Lucifer froze. Around him, angels sang without hearing, but within his heart, that forbidden echo grew louder. He began to shape his songs differently, adding tones that no angel dared to sing, harmonies that mirrored freedom, not order. At first, heaven marveled, but Mikel knew the pattern. He had seen it before, in the first flame. Lucifer was becoming what Abyrion once was, light without restraint, and again heaven began to tremble. The throne burned brighter. The presence of God filled the realms, yet no word was spoken. Lucifer stood before that brilliance and felt two things, awe and envy. He remembered Abyrion's destruction, but not the reason. He remembered the power, the defiance, and thought he could succeed where Abyrion failed. He said within himself, "I will ascend. I will rise above the stars of God." But what he didn't know was that the moment those words formed, the memory of Abyrion awakened fully within him. For the same pride that consumed the first flame was now reborn in the morning star. And just as before, heaven's silence returned. It was the silence before judgment, the calm before war. Lucifer's rebellion began not with anger, but remembrance. He believed that God feared another Abyrion, another being who could match his light. But the truth was far deeper. God did not fear Abyrion's power. He grieved its loss. When Lucifer rose against heaven, the angels who joined him did not know they followed the echo of something much older. The whisper of a flame erased from time. The war that began in heaven was not just rebellion. It was history repeating itself. As Lucifer fell, his light burned across creation, scattering fragments of pride into every world that would ever exist, including ours. And even now, the same voice whispers in the hearts of men, "You can be your own light." But the wise know the truth, that every flame without its source eventually consumes itself. So remember this. Before Lucifer fell, one light had already died for the same reason, and its name was Abyrion, the first flame.